Hello guys, hello, how you doing? Here's your boy Rick. Welcome. This is Morning Meditations, the show where we talk about leadership, personal development, and personal growth. And kind of today, I wanted to make a bit of a video about a personal growth issue and matter that I found myself, and I got some inspiration about it through something I was going through, which is the tripartite man or the three-part man. The tripartite man, which means basically man in three parts. And this is so powerful. This is so powerful. In fact, it was something I was going through, but I didn't know I was going through it. And when I realized the strength of it, I thought, you know what? We got a lot of people here who, are very mindful, are into meditation, spiritual people. We've got Christians, we've got different kind of people who watch. So, you know what? I thought I'd make something that is just amazing. Okay, so all this comes from, the starting point is there's a Christian text, an obscure Christian text, where the writer just encourages the people he's writing to and says, my brothers and sisters, I wish that you were, that everything's going well with you. And I wish that everything in your life is prospering just as your soul is prospering. And it leaves it at that. Now, this kind of thing has been taken off in many different directions, but I got a certain kind of wisdom on that is just ridiculous, which is the importance of your soul to the prospering of everything else that happens in your life. Your soul is really important. So we've got to start from the basis that we have three parts. Every person is a three-part person. Now, when I say three-part man, please understand, I mean men and women. Please don't write me letters saying, Rick, you're so misogynistic. Why are you only talking about men? I mean both. But what I really want to just tell you is that we have three parts. You've got a body, you've got a soul, and you've got a spirit. Very quickly, your spirit is the part of you that is a part of God. That part is technically it's the most important part, but most people really don't kind of even touch what that spirit is. If you find yourself describing yourself as a spiritual person, usually in the spirit is the place where you want to do. Now, this particular thing, I'm not even going to go into the spirit, so I don't want to really dwell on it. The second part is your soul. Your soul is that part of you that, again, consists of three parts. It consists of your mind, it consists your will, and it consists your emotions. I'm going to get to that because it's really important. It's your mind, your will, and your emotions. This is your soul. And lastly, you've got your body, which is this thing right here, which is basically the outward working of you. So you are actually what's inside your body, your whole personality, your mind, how you think, the way you love. That's part of your inside. And the body you have is just a printout. What you have, the life you live, is just a printout of what's happening inside. So literally, you could have, this is where I even count the money you make is just a printout of what's happening, inside you. The mind you have, and how you use that to make money. The relationships you have, they're just a printout of what's happening with your emotions. Are you emotionally available and emotionally open? But again, I'm not going to lecture on that. My real thing that I want to talk about is the role of your soul in this. So in your body, like for your life, the soul and the spirit are kind of always trying to fight over who takes control. Now, if you are not a spiritual person at all and you kind of just go on with life, technically your spirit is just dead. So really your soul is totally in control. And that's why I say most people live from the soul. But even when you are spiritual, your spirit should have control, but your soul is your soul has, it's got emotions, it's got your mind, it's crafty, it's your soul is manipulative because it's very emotional. It can emotionally blackmail. So your soul is always trying to take control. Even where your spirit should be controlling what you do. So you find that if you're a spiritually mature person, your spirit takes control and your soul kind of follows along, and you have that. But when you are not very spiritually mature, you're spiritual but you're not spiritually mature, even though your spirit is alive, your soul is just trying to take over and make all the decisions for your life. Now you see this in effect quite easily. So I say that your soul is made out of your mind, your will, and your emotions. So let's just take a look at it. If you are a very logical person like me, I'm very, very logical. Your mind kind of rules everything. So you kind of know everything. You think you know everything, and you like things in order. You like to control things, and there's a certain way that you want your life to pan out, and your mind is the one that goes there. You're very skeptical of things. You just want your mind to be the controller, which just defines a lot of people are like that. Then your soul, the part of your soul that is your emotions. If you're a very emotional person, things like anger, things like love, things like just when you're an emotional person, you let those emotions run everything in your life. So when those emotions take over, let's say the emotion of guilt, when it takes over, you don't listen to reason. You don't ever listen to reason, and you just keep going in that direction. It's all about that emotion that you're feeling right there, whether it's guilt, whether it's jealousy, whether it's whatever emotion it is. That's what keeps going. Now, these things, they should be a healthy balance, but unfortunately in the 21st century, because we've been allowed to kind of just indulge a lot, our souls rule us. So either we are living for the gratification of our mind and the things that are on our mind, sometimes even just being controlled by the things that are on our mind, or we are ruled totally by our emotions. And kind of that's where I got, because as I was reading that text and I was kind of meditating on it, it was saying that, the guy was saying that your life will prosper as your soul prospers. And I started to see a thing that said, actually, if your soul is not prospering, then everything else in your life will suffer. Your body will suffer. Your relationships will suffer. Your money will suffer. Everything, the outworking, you will suffer. And for me, I was like, wow, that's crazy. So, like I said, I'm very intellectual. I'm a thinking guy. I'm studious. I meditate a lot. It's all about the mind for me. And my emotions are a little bit stunted. I'm a bit of a stunted growth emotionally kind of person. But I went through a really major heartbreak, and I was just like, I didn't know that the emotions part of my soul took a major hit. Like it was ridiculous. I was almost depressed. It was now because I'm a spiritual man as well. Remember I was talking about spiritual, so my spirit kind of held me up, but it only covered up the fact that in my emotions I was kind of dying really and suffering major. And so I was wondering why the other things in my life were not working out. And all of a sudden, this came to mind as I was meditating, that the soul has so much power. So when my emotions were messed up and I was, and because I'm not a very emotional person, I didn't know how to deal with it. So I just dealt with it by trying to hide and kind of like just, burying all my feelings and, getting angry and, shutting everyone else out. And that was not the right way to handle it. Be wary of the tripartite man, the three parts of you, because the soul has probably, I would say, outside the fact that you need to have to be spiritual, I think the soul is most important. It's most important for what actually happens in your life. A lot of us are depressed because in our lives we're not seeing the results we want, but that's because our soul is not in alignment. There is something that is out of balance in your soul. And if you don't go and get it healed, if it needs healing, because there's a lot of soul breaks that happen. There's a lot of your soul is actually broken into pieces. That happens a lot. So you need to go and just say, hey, I need to deal with this, and this is something I had to do. I'm doing it now. I am dealing with my emotions. I am, making friends with people who are much more emotional than me, and just being around them, letting them, talking about feelings and everything, and allowing that healing to come through. Because when that healing comes through, and your soul prospers, then you know what? Your body, everything else about your life will prosper as well. I hope that you found this interesting, guys, and I hope you found this not just entertaining but useful. Leave a comment if you did. Like our page, follow our page, subscribe to me if you're on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, and I will be bringing a video like this a week. Different topics, but today was a very personal growth kind of thing, based on personal growth. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. See you later.